Hello, Gemini. Welcome to your weekly reading for May 10th. May 12th to the 18th. This is for Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's jump right into it. Gemini, I am really excited for you. Your life is changing. You're feeling all these blessings from Jupiter. And I just want to give you a gentle reminder. This is the last full month you have Jupiter in your sign. I know you're feeling Jupiter. And let's talk about a couple things this week. First, you'll see that there's fewer aspects than there have been. And that's going to be the norm now. Remember, March and April and even February, we're bonkers. So fewer aspects this week, but they're really mighty, especially because a couple involve your ruling planet. Now, and this full moon is going to be really big. It is going to be a week of endings, but for your fated new beginnings, remember the North Node is still here with Saturn. And it's going to be a lot of shadow work, a lot of healing, if you choose, but we're going to talk about that, all right? Now, like every week, I'm going to go over things that we did not discuss in your May forecast, okay? Your monthly forecast. And I'm going to tell you some things that probably no one is going to tell you, but there's a lot actually happening. So let's dive right in. Okay. Now, here's the thing. If you are watching this before we even get to the full moon, just know you're going to start feeling it over the weekend. All right. I know I dropped these forecasts a little bit earlier. You're going to be feeling the full moon, the intensity of it over the weekend. And it's because we basically have a T-square in fixed signs and it's fixed energy. So just keep that in mind. And it may be a thing. All right. You may already be feeling, but you got to change something. All right. Now, May 12th is when we do have, so May 12th is when we do have the full moon in Scorpio happening around 1 p.m. my time, Eastern Standard Time, New York City time. Convert that to wherever you live in the world. All right. Now, this full moon, like I said, in your monthly forecast, it does have a little bit of an intensity that can be emotional intensity. We're talking about the moon, emotions. We're talking about Scorpio energy. All right. Now, that can be like intense passion too. It's how you use this, right? It is a full moon. So endings, completions, turning points. The biggest thing of all is truth coming to light. And that is because it is a Pluto-ruled full moon. Remember, Pluto is the ruler of the underworld and has depth, right? Pluto is so far out there, it doesn't even get sunlight. It's in the dark. So that's why we just, with Pluto is associated with like darkness. That's why I say that like things coming to light. When Pluto is there, things coming to the surface and being illuminated. And it's happening during a full moon that illuminates. So what does this mean? Secrets, revelations, confessions, maybe something within you has to come out and has to see that light. Okay? Pluto is transformation. This is a very transformational full moon. And it's happening in Scorpio. That is your sixth house. So Scorpio rules your sixth house. What does that mean? Sixth house is everyday activities, your routines, your habits, lifestyle. It's also work, colleagues, employees, your responsibilities when it comes to work, as well as health. There could be something here with health, something with health that's finally ending, right? So just keep that in mind, all right? And with the fact that there might be some secrets coming to light or things coming to light, it could be something with a doctor or a personal trainer or, like a physical therapist, even a vet. Sixth house is pets. But just remember, it's transformation. This is your transformation. It's 22 degrees, like I said. So the Sabian symbol actually just happens to be metamorphosis, animal to spirit. All right. So you can even think just like caterpillar to butterfly, phoenix rising from the ashes, whatever you want, whatever. Just know it's transformation. Now, I did say it's 22 degrees. Two things here. 22 is a master number. And so for you, maybe it's your life path number. 22 is just this deep connection with the ether. It's a force to be reckoned with. unlimited potential. 22 is the master builder. Creativity, tenacity, discipline, leadership, all required, right? The right confidence to bring your dreams to reality. So this is you being the builder, the engineer of your life journey. All right? Something has to end out with the old for this new thing that you're building. Now, is it sheer coincidence? No, because coincidence is a wink from the universe. But 22 degrees in astrology is the Capricorn degree, cardinal degree. The hardworking, disciplined, tenacious leadership degree. You can even break down 22 to 4 if you want to. That's structure. That's hardworking. That's discipline. That's foundation building. So you see the big theme here, right? Capricorn being Saturn ruled, Saturn being karma and life lessons, and with the North Node right now in your 10th house of career, with a full moon highlighting work. You see what's happening? All right, Gemini, so there may be some changes there, all right, as you build into this new you. So what I want you to do, Gemini, is I want you to think about what happened 6 months ago with a corresponding new moon in Scorpio, November 1st, 2024. What happened around that time? Think about the first 2 weeks. Why? Well, it's a corresponding new moon. Second reason, Pluto was still in Capricorn. No? So it's kind of a big deal because Capricorn rules your 8th house. And this full moon, in general, it's Scorpio. So there is going to be an element of partnerships, relationship building, as well as wealth, inheritance, investments, taxes, royalties, loans, things like that. All right? Just keep that in mind because I'm harping on this for a reason. And I'll tell you why in a second. But I want you to think about that time. Yeah? Remember, Capricorn rules your 8th house. Scorpio is the native ruler of the 8th house. And it is death and rebirth and transformation. So here's her climax. Here's her turning point. All right? There's something here. There's something here. Now, you've got the sun in Taurus. We're in Taurus season, opposite the moon in Scorpio. Remember, the moon is just a rock. It reflects the sun, the light from the sun. So something being illuminated, right? Up here for you, because Taurus rules your 12th house. And that is the subconscious. It's spirituality. It's healing. But it's also the lower expressions are self-sabotage. And it's facing your fears. And it's hidden enemies. People that you thought were on your side. Everything's being illuminated now. So you may see someone that truly isn't supporting you. Just to let you know. All right? Now, these signs, by the way, Taurus and Scorpio rule the money houses and a level of relationships. Like I said, so money, finances, investments, inheritance, investors, those, yeah, they can be all on the table for you during this full moon. And even relationships. And that can be love, that can be career. They can be one-on-one commitments. Okay? Just keep that in mind. You do see the Uranus Cazimi. Remember what I said. You're going to feel that now. Everything that's happening in the 18th, you're going to feel it now. Okay? Because these are strong. And you're already feeling it. Jupiter, sextile Chiron, you're already feeling that. You start feeling it in the beginning of the month. Jupiter squaring the nodes, you start feeling it in the beginning of the month. But this is when they perfect. So the closer you get to it, the stronger that energy is. And you know we're going to talk about it, but you know also what I'm going to say, vibrate at a high frequency. Everything's made of energy. You want to put you know how the law of attraction works. I just said that Uranus Cazimi, Uranus all about breakthroughs and surprises and the unexpected with all this money stuff happening around the full moon. Yeah, it could be a windfall, a surprise windfall. You gaining money in some way, right? It could be that maybe you inherit, maybe your parents are like, listen, we don't want to work now, but we're going to retire. We're going to give you the business. You're going to make $500 billion a year, whatever it is, right? You just don't know with Uranus. Uranus is surprises. Now, the other thing is that when I say doing shadow work and really, really going deep, I really want you to take that to heart, okay? Because 22 degrees, I'm just going to let you know now, it's not a cakewalk. 22 degrees is not easy, all right? So you really have to go within to let things go, let things illuminate, let them go, leave it in the past. It's endings, right? Endings or turning points or adjustments for your transformation. And again, a lot of this is going to have to do with your everyday activities, work, health, but also remember with your 12th house activated, there may be just something here subconsciously where remember, it's like self-sabotage energy. If you're telling yourself, I'm not good enough or I don't deserve this, we got to let that go. We got to let that go. Yeah? Because you have Mercury and Taurus in the same place. Mercury's your ruling planet and it's the mind. So that's why I'm doubling down on you here. All right? Anything that is that, Eight of Swords energy, no, we want to confront it, let it go. Okay? For your transformation. And when I say letting things go, yeah, that's patterns, that's habits, relationships, jobs, career paths, your addiction to ice cream, whatever it is. Every Gemini is different. This is going to play out differently for every Gemini. But you have to realize there's something that's going to be illuminated here where you're going to see it no longer serves me well. All right? Because it's a Scorpio full moon. Scorpio is the death card in tarot. Transformation. Out with the old, in with the new. It's all about truth coming to the light. Truth. What is your truth? What do you want and what do you know? You've got to let go. All right? So just keep that in mind. It is I talked about hemisync. Y'all did that last week. That'll help. It's really great. And remember what I said. Transformation comes from within. Yeah? You got Pluto retrograde. Pluto being transformation. Transformation comes from within. All right. Now, the moon will be opposite Uranus. Like I said, you're going to feel that Uranus Kazemi. Uranus is the great awakener. It's change, it's breakthrough, it's freedom. You're going to feel that. And it's liberating. So use it. Uranus is helping you break free from something around this time with the full moon. All right. And yes, Uranus can be unexpected surprises or announcements. You just never know. And it can be with home, family, loved ones, maybe a female figure. Maybe they make an announcement. But again, it being in your 6th house, remember, if you're here actually watching, if you're a Gemini sun, I've told you this before, sometimes the sun isn't about you. Okay? So it could be, maybe it's your boss that makes a surprise announcement on this day. I'm leaving. How does that change your situation, right? So you just never know. You never know with Uranus, okay? Uranus is revolution. And remember, Pluto is in Aquarius. That's revolution. Uranus is Aquarius's ruling planet. But the fact that we are in Taurus season, that's grounding, all right? It's nice. But now you do see that Mercury in Taurus will be squaring Pluto in Aquarius, all right? I talked about this in your monthly forecast. I won't go into too much detail here. Just remember what I said. You get through this little hump. You work with this energy. You see what's waiting for you in 2 weeks, right? Now, Mercury they're in fixed signs. So that's the thing here that they're not saying, and Mercury, your ruling planet, communication, it's the mind, it's all up here. But then Pluto is very psychological. Remember that depth, going deep. And this is why you want to use this for your transformation, okay? For growth. And so there is going to be something here where this aspect adds to the intensity of the full moon that increases the probability of things coming to the surface. It's Pluto. Yeah. Revelations, secrets, digging deep to get to the bottom of things. So it just may be something about you where it's just like, I need to get down to the deep in the surface inside me to realize my truth about something. You know, I'm going to be the phoenix rising from the ashes. Scorpio is a very intuitive sign. The moon is intuition. So there's this high level of gut instincts. While we're in Taurus season that rules your 12th house of intuition, use this, please. Okay? Trust yourself and do that shadow work, you know, the intuitive work. Because Mercury being in Taurus, that can be a little inflexible. That can be a little resistant, especially with thinking and communicating. It could be like fighting words. It could be fighting thoughts. It could be just some news that are just like, what? Even power struggles or even jealousy. There's so many themes here. And it can be love. It can be work. It can be family. It's going to be different for everybody. All right. It can be too much control. Like, I want too much control. I want too much power in relationships, in money. Big themes for this week. Remember, we're in Taurus season, a finance sign. Yeah. So, and this aspect is very like troll energy, like internet trolls. Right? Especially, you know, Mercury, you're the ruler of the third house. Mercury's a ruler. Third house is like, you know, the internet. And so there is this energy. And this is actually a good example of like, this is a good, okay. So it's like, I refuse to do shadow work. I'm always right. I won't change. And I'm going to put all my darkness in social media, or in this chat room, or in this comments, or whatever it is. Trolls are in the shadows. They're hidden. Remember, I'm talking about Pluto, that darkness. So that is that type of energy here. And it can be you. It can be someone else trolling you. Don't fall for it. Remember, this is happening on the day of the full moon in Scorpio. Scorpio, the scorpion, has the stinger. All right? Keep the stingers in. Be responsive, not reactive. You're on a karmic journey. This is what you're going to feel this days before, days after. It's a strong square. All right? You create your path, your reality. Use this aspect to empower yourself. Pluto is empowerment. Okay, this is a great aspect for leadership. Even like big, like really strong focus, concentration, empowerment is a big thing. It's very sharp and mental and psychic and intuitive. Empowering others, it's great when you use it. Okay? It's a really good BS filter too. Like, nobody can deceive you. So use this aspect. I think I told you in your monthly forecast, I have this in my chart. I'm living, I was born with this. I'm living proof you can use this for the greater good. You can use this. Okay? Now, that's why I'm telling you right now, on this day, be the best version of yourself, vibrate at that high frequency. And when I say that, that's love, compassion, gratitude, kindness. All right? And stay there. Because around this time, people are going to try to pull you into their low energy frequency. And what do I always say? If that happens, should that happen, bring them out. Don't stoop to their level. Bring them out of that frequency. Support them and help them. Because clearly they need support. They need love. And that's karma. That's frequency. That's the greater good. Okay? Now, I talked about shadow work. It's going to be a thing. We're in Taurus season. That rules your 12th house. The subconscious. Okay? You see Saturn with, or it's not here, it's Saturn with the North Node. Yeah. Karma and destiny. And then Pluto retrograde. Okay? And then you see Jupiter, that's in your sign, squaring the node, sextiling Chiron. This is the day it perfects. So again, you're going to feel it all week. We'll talk about it later. That's a big thing for you. Oh, The other thing is, don't forget, we got the South Node in Virgo. So you're already all year working on getting, eliminating like perfectionist energy, self-critical energy, being hard on yourself energy. All right. And Mercury, right? Mercury's a ruler. It's the ruler for Virgo as well. And so Mercury's just so active, especially with these squares. And Mercury does rule the nervous system. Yeah. And so with the Uranus Cazimi involved as well, you could feel a little restless, but that's a sign telling you there's something that's got to change, or I've got to let this go, right? So don't be afraid to go deep. Don't be afraid to be in touch with your emotions. It's okay to cry. It's okay to bawl. It's okay to shout at the walls. Do the Kevin Bacon Footloose dance when he was like, ah, you know? Listen, we're human beings. That's all. We're human beings, okay? We were built with a range of emotions to feel them all. Even these low energy emotions and frequencies, emotions actually are frequencies. We have to feel them to grow, okay? You just don't want to get stuck there. Spend time in nature. You're going to love that. Get a massage. Treat yourself. Pre-birthday massage. Now, the second spread, we're going to talk about this a lot more, but the full moon will conjunct Juno, and that is why this is a really strong full moon. You see those like 10 things happening during this full moon. That's what I'm saying. I'm giving you everything, okay? Because this is going to explain a lot for you. You're not going to hear this from other people. So, full moon conjuncting Juno. First of all, 24 degrees, that's great. You vibe with that, okay? Harmony, really wonderful. Very intuitive too, okay? Now, Juno, remember, is an asteroid, Roman goddess of marriage, who complements Venus, by the way, linked to Libra, fights for justice when it comes to commitments, marriage, contracts, fidelity, infidelity, betrayal, legal matters, personal relationships, even wealth. So now you see there's an extra layer here. When was the last time you saw a full moon conjunct Juno, right? This is going to be big. And so there is a little bit of more of seeking truth or justice for what you deserve, okay? Fairness. When it comes to everyday activities, work, health, and even partnerships, relationships, legal matters. Why is this a big deal? Because not only is that happening, but Juno is actually with the North Node. So Juno's negotiating with the North Node for you. Yeah, North Node in Pisces in your 10th house of career. So you see how you have your house of work and house of career activated. And it's a beautiful trine. So use this. What is that truth? What is that justice that you're seeking? And remember, I told you about November 1st, thinking about what happened then? Juno moved into Scorpio at that time, just in time for that new moon. And then she wandered off into Sagittarius, right? We all know that. And she just came back to Scorpio like a week ago. So what are the chances that she was there for the new moon in Scorpio, and now she came back to help you for this full moon? Okay? Again, we'll talk about the second spread, but don't forget, Saturn with the North Node, that's still happening. You just went through that Saturn North Node conjunction. You went through it. You went through it. And remember, Saturn's leaving. Saturn's moving into Aries next week. Saturn, karma, life lessons. You've had some moments in career for the past few years learning. Yeah? Saturn was making things like, yeah, not so easy for you. But now you see where you're at now. Think about where you were 2 years ago. Look at where you are now. It's not done, right? He's leaving Pisces next week, right? Separating with the North Node, your destiny, your mission statement, your purpose. And remember, Saturn is a builder, helping you build for your destiny. And remember, he's making things easy for you now. So I would just use this. Because Sirius is with Saturn and the North Node. Sirius, remember, just think self-nurturing, nourishing. Think motherhood, maternal, paternal energy. We'll talk about more in the second spread, but this is just a really, really big thing. Because this is all sex on Uranus pretty much all year. Why is this a big deal? Because Uranus is moving into your sign in 2 months. Your life is going to change in ways that you have never seen with Uranus in your sign. It's been 84 years, Gemini. And Saturn is sextiling Uranus. They're working together in harmony for this new vision for you. All right. Uranus, remember, is breakthroughs, change, the Great Awakener, innovation, really great at rebuilding. You heard me right. Rebuilding, not building, rebuilding, because Uranus is going to break things down for your breakthrough. Okay. Same thing with Pluto and Aquarius, right? Breaking things down for your breakthrough. And you've been seeing that happening already. And you've been in these wonderful positions. You've got Jupiter just blessing you out of all the signs this entire month. You know what's happening at the end of the month, that new moon in your sign, one of the best. And even Neptune moved into Aries, left Pisces. That was there for 14 years. And now Neptune, which dissolves, is dissolving your old visions. So when I say out with the old, in with the new, there's like 8 things here that are all about this new future for you. And again, we'll talk about in the second spread because there's a lot more to this, but that's why I'm talking about Saturn so much, because Saturn is Capricorn's ruler. Remember, this is the Capricorn degree for this full moon, but the moon will be in Capricorn all weekend. And so the full moon, you're going to feel that energy the entire week because Capricorn, once again, rules your 8th house of everything that full moon represents: death and rebirth, transformation, regeneration, partnerships, wealth, all of that. We'll talk about in the second spread. But the fact that Saturn is moving into Aries next week, ooh, he's saying, Gemini, it's been fun. You learned your lesson. Now, I need you to leave old structures, patterns, ways of thinking, systems, all behind. Leave it all behind. Out with the old, in with the new. We got a new vision. We're building in this new area of your life. Okay? And of course, it's a gradual process. It's not like right on the spot, but it's just getting in preparation mode. You're moving into this enormously new special area in your life. I told you about June. Yeah. All right. So another reason why I'm harping on this is because May 16th is when Sirius moves into Aries. 0 degrees. We've talked about that, the creation degree, the creative degree. And that is your 11th house of your hopes and wishes and future dreams and long-term goals and plans. And so, yeah, you got Saturn and Neptune conjuncting there with Sirius. Now, Sirius moved into Pisces in February, just in time to join that once a lifetime 6-planet conjunction with a North node, everything that happened in March, right? That big wave that you've been riding. And now she's just out of sheer coincidence joining Saturn and Neptune to be part of this conjunction in Aries. In Aries for the entire year. You're going to feel all month. So when I say, what are the chances? What are the chances? You've got to understand at this point, there is this higher power that is helping you and steering you and guiding you. And next week, remember, we got Venus trine Mars. We got Sun sextile Saturn. We got a lot of amazing things that are so strong you will feel this week. Opening up this amazing portal for you. I love it. So, cross watchers, if you watch for your rising or your moon or for your, husband or, your pet, your best friend, whoever it is, fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, they're going to feel this the most this entire day if you know your birth chart. And again, I'm giving it a wider orb here because of Uranus. If you have any planets between 20 to 27 degrees in any of the fixed signs or Virgo or Pisces, and I am throwing in Capricorn, oh, you will feel this. But remember, this is big. Everyone is going to feel this in a really, really big way. All right? Now, I don't think I told you, Gemini, that, oh yeah. Okay. So we will have the moon in Sagittarius too. So partnerships and relationships, whether it's love, whether it's career, whether it's your lawyer, your publicist, your sister, it doesn't matter. Big theme for you the entire week. Okay? The entire week. And money. And legal matters. Now, May 17th, you got your ruler Mercury squaring Mars. They're in fixed signs, Mercury in Taurus, Mars in Leo. I talked about this. Listen, another once a year. It only happens once a year. You're going to feel this days before, days after. You see it's going to be amplifying that Kazemi. This is strong. Okay? And I want you to be mindful. I want you, Gemini. Why? Because Mars is going to be like a laser. Yeah? And remember, Mars is in Leo. So 2 things for you. 1, this is going to bring out it can bring out those lower expressions of Mars and Leo, which is pride and ego, things like that, right? But Mars and Leo rules your 3rd house of communication. So you got the planet of communication, your ruler, squaring Mars, that's the warrior, in your house of communication. So there's going to be something here where Mars, he can weaponize the powers of Mercury, which is communication, words, even thoughts. Yeah? So there can be like tempers. There can be words exchange. There could be rushing through decisions, not thinking before you speak, jumping to conclusions, being really amped up. It's competitive energy. But again, you can use this. All right? You can be direct. You can be very direct. Mars wants you to be direct. He's going to make you be direct, but diplomatic. Okay? And this is like listening to others, being receptive to others, smiling. Yeah? Okay? Like if your boss comes at you for wearing that banana perfume you love, what are you going to do, right? You're going to smile. You're going to smile. You're going to let it pass. Be the better person in the situation. You're going to tell your boss, thank you so much. You know what? You're the best boss I've had. All these things that you've done for me, you're amazing. And your boss is going to realize, oh, I was being really mean. And actually, she's done a great job. I'm going to give her a raise. You see how karma works? Do you see how energy works, right? So and then you go, get a Kit Kat bar. You know what I mean? You got Saturn, karma, with the North Node, your fate, your destiny, this week in your 10th house of career. All right? So just keep that in mind. Anyway, you're going to be fine. And remember, I said you can use this physically. Exert energy. Yeah? Gardening, karate, karaoke, joining a debate team. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Just one thing. You've got Mercury opposite Juno on this day. All right. So again, there just may be something here where there's going to have to be some truth, and maybe speaking truth or thinking about truth and fairness and justice. Okay. Fixed signs, Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, and Aries, Gemini, and Virgo will feel this the most. And if you have any planets between 10 to 16 degrees in fixed signs, you'll feel it the most. Now, maybe I did forget. Did I forget? Yeah. On the day of the full moon when Mercury squares Pluto, you're in that too. You'll feel it the most. Now, 17th to 18th, depending on where you live, because remember, a lot of these aspects happen like, midnight-ish. You got the Uranus Kazemi. It's a conjunction. You feel it a week before, the entire week. You're going to feel it the entire week. This entire week, right? I want to make that clear. And unless you live for the next 84 years, that's the last Uranus Kazemi in Taurus in your lifetime. Now, Uranus, like I said, is moving into your sign, Gemini, in 2 months. So all the Uranus Kazemis from this point forward are going to be in your sign. Buckle up. Buckle up. But Uranus does a gazillion times better in your sign. Okay, so it's great. Than it does in Taurus. Uranus is pretty much detriment in Taurus. So it's stimulating. Happens once a year. It's the sun conjuncting Uranus. So it brings a lot of unpredictability, but it's more about you having breakthroughs and clearing the way for breakthroughs, or even you breaking things down for breakthroughs, or something breaking down for you to have these breakthroughs. It's Uranus saying, shake things up. Uranus being the great awakener. Remember, freedom. Yeah. Doing something different, breaking from routine. Okay. Just having a breakthrough. Innovation. Uranus is innovation. It's revolutionary, but it's change. At the end of the day, it's just change, period. All right. So the chances of unexpected change on this day, around this day, the entire week, very, very high. It can be the Tower card, or it can be the Wheel of Fortune. Where are you going to be vibrating? How are you going to be vibrating, right? The other thing is that, I think I explained this in your monthly forecast, it's in your 12th house. If anything, you're just going to get like a psychic pop. It's in your 12th house. There's going to be something here also where it may be like something from your subconscious comes up really big now, okay? And you are now, whoa, I didn't realize I was doing this to self-sabotage myself. Oh, I recognize it, leaving it in the past. So this is actually, it's good for you. It's good for you. But again, there may be something happening in your world, in the workplace. Like I said, maybe like a boss quitting, maybe something like that, or just something that shakes things up. All right. And it's just, now you're just like, okay, now what are the next steps? All right. It could be you getting promoted or taking over that boss. You just never know. Uranus is doing something in your favor. I mean, this is the last one in Taurus, and it is at 27 degrees. And this is why this is good for you. 27, as we know, 27 is a 9. So really strong 9 energy. But 9 is the Gemini degree. I'm sorry, 27 is a Gemini degree and a mutable degree. So like there's going to be change, but a lot of it's going to be coming within you. And the 27 degree is the degree of communication, of curiosity, of learning, and being very open to new experiences, which is why I am confident it's you that's going to have this breakthrough. It's you that's going to have even like a mental breakthrough, right? Mercury being the mind, and then you got Uranus here in your 12th house. Like, this is great. This is great. Okay. And then you got Jupiter squaring the nodes. Jupiter is Jove, the king of the gods, optimism. So it doesn't matter what aspect Jupiter has. He always, even like with squares, he will squeeze something really good out of it. And so remember, Jupiter's in your sign, squaring the nodes. You got the nodes of fate. Remember, the North Node in Pisces in your 10th house of career and fame and public recognition and your reputation, if you're not here for career, right? Or honors and achievements. And you've got the South Node in Virgo, your 4th house of home and family. And so there's something here where you got to use this, right? But there's something here where there's this great fated opportunity with the potential to go big and expand and have good luck and fortune around. But it requires changing your perspective on something. All right. And that's the thing. You remember, you start feeling this beginning of May. So you could already be in your expansion phase, or you can be feeling it really strongly around this time. And then you go through your expansion phase after. Every Gemini is different. You have different birth charts. So put yourself out there. Remember, it's a karmic node of fate with the planet of luck, wisdom, growth, expansion in your sign. Please use this. Remember, Jupiter's also faith. Have that faith. Jupiter, sextile Chiron, big. We talked about this, that inner healing. That's why I said this is a week of shadow work. Yeah. And what is shadow work if you don't know? It's just confronting those things about us that we conceal, we keep in the dark, right? We don't want other people to see it. Things like that. We don't want to confront it. That's all this is. Jupiter is helping you unblock chakras, do deep inner healing for old wounds, especially with friendships, groups you belong to, maybe something about being public facing. It is your 11th house, right? Chiron and Aries are 11th house. Or your future hopes and wishes and dreams. Again, there can be something here where you may be telling yourself, I'm not good enough for this, based on historical patterns. Yeah? If you wanted to, let's say you went on let's say you, I don't know, went on a date with someone that had, brown hair. You like brown hair people. Yeah? It didn't go well. The next one, brown hair person, didn't go well. The next one, brown hair person, didn't go well. In your head, you're going to be thinking, oh, I do not go well with any brown haired person out of the 8 billion people on this planet. It doesn't work for me. That would be self-sabotage. That would be that pattern that I'm talking about. Okay? Because the person that you meet that has brown hair, that is like your soulmate, you feel in your bones, you're like, oh, well, that person's brown hair, so it's not going to work out. Does that make sense? Like, that's not. So this is helping you for anything. Okay? Anything. Jupiter, sextile Chiron. But again, mostly with what you want for your vision, and then friendships and communities that you belong to, even social media. So you got really great opportunities for growth and expansion and healing, spiritual healing, mindset healing. The one thing I'm going to tell you, Eris, Mars's sister, basically the goddess warrior, is conjuncting Chiron. It's been 50 years. She's back. Conjuncting Chiron in your 11th house. We'll talk about it in the second spread. So all signs are just going to feel this day immensely because all the modalities are activated. And if you want to isolate that Uranus Cazimi alone, yeah, it's the fixed signs that's going to feel that the most. But if you know your chart, if you have planets 24 to 29 degrees in any of the fixed signs, or Pisces or Virgo, or if you have any planets between 0 to 5 degrees, oh my gosh, in Aquarius or Aries, you will feel it the most. Let's go. And then, yeah, the moon will conjunct Pluto too. Well, we're going to talk about that. That brings intensity to this day as well. It's more like truth seeking. We'll talk about it in the second spread. Let's see what's going on for you, Gemini. May 12th to the 18th, the week before your birthday. Did you see what happened here? That card that flipped out? That's a sign. And I have a really good story about this. And I'm going to tell you at the end. Okay? I'm going to tell you at the end. But this is the biggest sign that you could have ever received. Ever received. Mm-hmm. I got to do a time check. Okay. Gemini, I do a traditional culture cross spread, offers the best overview if we need to pull clarifiers. The best overview for a weekly reading too. If we need to pull clarifiers, you know that we will. You know I love y'all. I was gonna say that, well, I finally finished. And so my merch shop, there's new designs. My friend, and I know it took a really long time. I get all your comments, I get your emails. They're finally done. So there's new designs. You're good. T-shirts and mugs and, things with your sign, Gemini and whatnot. And so I'm really excited about that because it did take a long, remember, I'm a one-man team. So, but I did have a friend help and she is absolutely amazing. I've known her for a really long time and she works at a very, I don't know if I'm allowed to say, but like a really big fashion designer. So really, really excited for that. And just one last thing, because I'm looking at my notes. You've got, just don't forget that Saturn is going to be sextiling Uranus. Saturn is going to be sextiling Uranus in your sign all year. remember, you're going to be reaping rewards. The sun is going to sextile Saturn next week. So the sun in your sign is going to sextile Saturn. You have a lot to look forward to. Let's get started. You know I love y'all, Gemini. Yeah. Yeah. You got a lot to look forward to. But I want you to watch out for something. Okay? 10 of Cups. You're good as you move into this week. Okay? You know this is a card of... This is nirvanic. This is like this state of happiness that's transcendent. You see the rainbow, the only rainbow in tarot, indicating this promising future. You see the happy couple, the happy kids dancing, this pure innocence. Wonderful. Cups, emotions, feelings, love, relationships, things like that, right? Even wonderment. I love it. I love it. So it does feel like there's this new journey that's beginning for you too. A lot of it can be career. It is a Pisces card. Remember, Saturn and the North Node still together in Pisces. And then, hello, Six of Pentacles in the heart of your spread. I love this for you. This is one of my favorite cards. I don't think you've ever had it in the heart of your spread. Well, you know, this year, but this is like generosity. This is even like generosity of spirit. You see the philanthropic man supporting the others. Okay. You need support. It's coming. Okay. It could be you, the one that is vibrating this high frequency. You're supporting others for the greater good. This is going beyond the greater good. Okay. This is the Six of Pentacles. 6 is harmonized. 6 is so great. Remember, 6 is a great number. We love 6. But there's something here that's just so selfless and beautiful. And Pentacles are a physical realm too. Okay. And so there is something here where whatever that you're seeking, you will be receiving. But remember, it's what you give, right? This is karma. And when I say that, you see the scale in his hand. And so basically ask yourself this week, am I giving, and giving, but I'm not getting anything in return? Or am I waiting to receive, but I'm not giving anything at all? Okay? That's the balance right here. So, is being mindful. But again, for this to even happen, it takes that inspired action. Okay? That feeling it in your soul, where it's that selfless energy and you opening up to receive after you've given, and vice versa. But either way, this is one of the most beautiful cards. And it is a Taurus card as we're in Taurus season. And remember, I said this is a big week of relationships and money. So there could be something coming through. Or you giving. Now, you got the Knight of Swords in your challenge area. 2 things here. When I talk about Mercury being very active this week in these squares, please be mindful. Because the Knight of Swords can be very impulsive, very hasty, very everything that I talked about. Okay? He's in your challenge area. And Knight of Swords is you. This is your card. It's a Gemini card. Okay? So just keep that in mind. With thoughts, with the words that come out of your mouth. Remember, everything is energy. And when I say that, literally the words that come out of your mouth, literally the thoughts that you have in your head, literally, like I talked about that troll energy, right? That it's very internet trolls, because it's like people can write, for someone to go out of their way to leave a negative message. And like, I can't go on certain social media platforms because there's just so many. It's like, what is going on? So that's what I'm talking about, right? Do you need to do that? the other thing is there might be someone on the other end where it's coming after you. Okay? I don't feel that as strongly as it being you, but that's only because it's your ruling planet that's very active and you do have all this 12th house activity. And your success is activated. Now, yeah, the Nine of Wands. There's something here. The Nine of Wands is very... It's good because it's like not giving up, not giving up. I've gone through it. I'm not giving up. I'm hanging in there. So that's great with your passions, even work, or whatever you're ambitious about. Also creative energy. All right? Great. Great. But with the Seven of Wands too, which is another great card, all about valor, right? Standing your ground. Drawing a line in the sand, saying, no. No, 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 no. And there's a little bit of like competitive spirit here and here. We'll talk about that in a second. But when you get what's happening here, just be flexible and be open to communication, because there is a little bit of, remember, there's so much fixed energy and there's a little bit of not budging. And so we fight, right? So just be very receptive, okay? Open to communication. And just remember you're on a karmic journey. May I tell you my progressed moon is in Gemini right now? Anyway, you got the Five of Wands in your future. Everyone's getting the Five of Wands. It is that type of week. But again, you can use these aspects. Please use these aspects. And I'm not saying that y'all are going to go. It's like, yeah, there is a little bit of potential. Someone could be provoking you where you have to stand your ground. That's the best thing of all. Okay? That you're not giving up. You're saying, no, I'm being my authentic self. Okay? But at the same time, there is the flip that I'm getting is like, let's be receptive to some things. And then you got that Five of Wands in your future. The Five of Wands is a challenge card, but it's the least challenging. It's just kids swinging their wands in the air. They're not even hitting each other. So what does that mean? Whatever this is, it's not worth your time. So this is not seeing eye to eye, okay, with other people. And it could be multiple people, okay? Rise above this. It's not worth your time. Someone's got to come up and say, y'all, we're expending energy into something that, what are we doing? We're going in circles. Let's work together. Or maybe there's too many cooks in the kitchen. We need to, prioritize here. That'll be you, Gemini. That'll be you. You're the one rising above. Why? It is a Leo card. Remember, you got Mars, the warrior god in Leo, squaring Mercury, your ruler, but just Mars and Leo alone. In your third house of communication, right? And so, again, there's some competitive energy here. I'm going to pull some clarifiers, all right? I'll do that later, but I want to look at your stat first. Gemini, y'all are amazing. If you like this reading, it'd be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments. Tell me what's going on. Y'all are amazing. I'm excited for your birthday season coming up. Oh, one of your best birthday seasons. Just like Taurus. It's just what's happening for you. The fact that you're celebrating your birthday with this amazing, auspicious new moon coming up with a Mercury conjuncting Uranus. Then you got June with the luckiest aspects of the entire year. In your birthday season, come on. Oh, okay. Let's see what's going on. Oh yeah, you're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. Geminis, I love y'all so much. Nine of Cups. Hello, that's great. This is that wish come true card. I say it's genie in a bottle energy. He's sitting there like a genie in a bottle, but This is you being proud of yourself, and be proud of yourself for how far you've come. Okay? Look at, and I say this all the time, it looks like he's showing off his cups like they're trophies. Look at what I've achieved. Look at what I've gotten. Look at what I worked for and I got. This is wish fulfillment. Remember, 9 is fulfillment. And this is complete satisfaction. And so there's birthday wishes truly coming true. With the 10 of Cups and the 9 of Cups, especially with your reputation or career. And I really want you to feel that, because that helps you vibrate at that high frequency. You got the 3 of Cups, you got something to celebrate. You're good. This is, first, there's people involved. Yeah. This can be colleagues. It can be family. It can be anything. It can be anything. At the end of the day, it's celebration with others. Okay. And it is almost like the end of something, celebrating something new. There can be money involved here, by the way. But this is like a toast to something. Again, it just feels like something ending, something new beginning. Now, you've got the King of Wands. Great. And he's a true leader, passionate leader. He's the entrepreneur too. Remember, you got a lot of work stuff, career stuff, everyday activities. He's Leo too, by the way. And so I love this. A lot of passion. You remember Venus is going to trine Mars and Leo next week. You got things coming up, big ones. So continue to move in that direction. It's almost like that's your vision, your goal, to sit in that throne. But King of Wands, first, that's epitome of passion. That's so much passion for what you're doing. So I want you to feel that in your bones. I talk about the solar plexus, right? Chakra, the fire in the belly, breath of fire. Anyway, you got judgment in your final outcome. You're good. You're graduating. This is spiritual awakening. This is the Uranus Kazemi in your 12th house. This is amazing. This is also, by the way, and I don't make this up, this is insane. Judgment is attributed to the planet Pluto. Remember, Pluto is in Aquarius. 2 things there. 1, Pluto is retrograde, so it's transformation from within. Yeah. Secondly, Pluto in Aquarius. Aquarius rules your 9th house of spirituality. So there's something very spiritual this week, spiritual awakening, but also like your belief system. Remember, there's going to be the shift in perspective that changes your entire world. But you got to go within. You see that you've got an archangel in your final outcome. Archangel Gabriel blowing the trumpet. I've talked about sound. It's healing. It's frequency. It's therapy. It's everything. It's waking the dead. That's how powerful sound is. Okay? When you hear the blow of the trumpet, okay, you got to go within. You have that this is a wake-up call. That's amazing. Now, lastly, oh gosh, how much time we got? Let me just tell you real quickly. 7 of Cups. The reason why this freaks me out, and it's only happened, I think there were 2 signs that got it in the second spread. 7 of Cups. This card is Venus in Scorpio. Why is that crazy? Because, and I just don't have time to tell you like every little thing. This full moon in Scorpio is happening in the 3rd decan of Scorpio. Venus. So there is Venus involved with the full moon. Love and money, like I said. All right. Relationships and money and creativity, creative projects. Yeah, it's in your 6th house. 7 of Cups. This is saying, know what you want. Know what you want. The bigger thing is there are opportunities coming this week or opening up for you. And so you got to make that decision, which is this the right one? Is this the right one? You got to trust your intuition. Cups are intuition too. So that's really great that it came up. But the other thing, just please know what you want, because this is also saying, you see all that smoke there? It can be like smoke and mirrors. So just trust your intuition on certain paths or opportunities where if your intuition's not vibing, then it's not vibing. Okay. There can be a little bit of like too good to be true, that kind of energy as well. And that could lead to a lot of, right? But at the same time, put your energy into what you know you want. You're going to be fine. You're good. You're absolutely good. Gemini, thanks so much. If you like this reading, would be great if you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on. And yes, second spread, I'm going to do a second spread just on the full moon. We're going to isolate that on top of the other cards that I'm going to pull for the lunations, asteroids, planetoids. There's big things happening. I mean, the fact that you've got the moon in Capricorn all weekend. Moon in Capricorn, it's no nonsense. It's in your 8th house of death and rebirth. You got judge that and money and relationships. Like I said, that's going to be a whole theme for you all week. Anyway, tier 3 members, you know where to find the link. Anyone's welcome to join. And next week, yeah, you got big stuff happening. We're about to get into your birthday season. I'm excited for you, Gemini. All right, so if you like, did I say it? If you like this reading, it would be great. If you like, subscribe, leave comments, tell me what's going on, and we will. I might even clarify that 5 of Wands, but this is going way too long. Gemini. All right, thanks so much. I'll see you next week. All right, bye bye.